discuss about a topic that is very crucial, very important to the new normal, and for a parent to raise a godly child who need all that it takes to work with the new normal, which is the information technology that has come to stay, and the use of social media. And the topic before me is understanding social media for 21st century godly parenting, children and technology. And how do let me pick it up from here. That means the parents need to learn, relearn, and unlearn. It is not the age why we just restrict ourselves to maybe what we're taught in school. We need to do things differently to be able to disseminate information and even to acquire skill. The topic is so wide, but God will just give us the enablement to diffuse and explain it, that we'll all be able to gain and have something, a takeaway from this meeting today. Social media, let's even take it back to fast track to 2020. 2020 during COVID, so many things that we never think we can do. Like a lot of meetings that we have to gather, management meeting, everybody, Ibadan branch, Abuja branch, everybody will come to Lagos to have management meeting. Now we'll have management meeting by Zoom, and everybody is represented. And we still have the same purpose and the goal. We achieve all that is expected, if not even more. During COVID also, we see how our children, they do online school. Even lesson teachers engage them online. The father and the mother in the house also pick up their system. They are working remotely. Now we can work remotely. Some offices work 2 days, 3 days, physical office, 2 days offline. And you still get, in fact, you even work more while you are home. So these are some of the things social media has come to do. And looking at social media also is a way we are able to disseminate information. We are able to learn so many things. So everything is on social media. Go to YouTube, anything you want to learn. So what are the things we as a parent, what are we watching? And what are the things that our children are watching? Are we interested in what they do online? Are we interested? Those are the things we'll be looking at. Are we interested in the platform they have, the group that they joined, what they watch? These are some of the things that we'll be bringing out. And what you don't know, you cannot give. If you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the know-how, you don't have the capacity, you are not improving yourself also. That's why I say relearn, unlearn, and relearn. You are not updating yourself. You will be deforming. Information bring, when you are getting information, you are better formed. But when you are not getting information, you will be deforming and you'll be decaying. And knowledge survives till our lifetime. So we'll continue to learn new things every other day. I know so many IT that Dr. SOJ has been able to bring to the table, even with her age. She's in her 60s, and they are still learning. They are still acquiring skills and the rest of it. So we young ones also, we need to imbibe this culture, and we should be able to also share and imbibe in our children. I'll go to the only scripture I want to share today, Proverbs 22, verse 4, which says, train up a child in the way of the Lord, and when he grows up, he will not depart from me. The formation stage of a child, even from when the child was in the womb, what is the mother watching? Is it only Yoruba film? You sit down from morning to night. The one they are doing ritual, the one they are fighting themselves, the child is also alive in your womb. Now when they are born, a child from so many schools of thought, a child is formed between the age of 0 and 5. Everything that child is going to be, the child is formed in that age. And that formative stage, the parents need to imbibe everything, moral, value, Jesus, everything. That's 0 to 5. Is the child on Jesus of Nazareth? Is the child on my story Bible? That there's a film about it. What are even films or cartoons on characters, maybe for shapes, colors, and what have you. So many, all these cartoons we think they watch, it gives them phonetics that even maybe some of us have to go to communication school and the rest now. The child is watching and is forming the IQ, the intellectuality, and what have you. So what do we do in their presence? That age, does somebody come to you and you lie to them, tell the person I'm not at home. You have told the child how to lie. What do we do as a parent? Even on that social media, if your child pick your phone, is the child going to continue to be happy that you are the mother and the father? Or are you the type that password? And if you don't password, what do you do with your phone or your laptop or what have you? Do you go to site that is ungodly? Because everything that is right, that is just, that is sincere, that is true, that is pure, that is right. He said, find yourself doing all these things. And it's what we have, we can give. So few things to note. Social media has come to stay and it's part of our daily life. Everything we do is on social media. Those of us in career, our businesses, we showcase on social media. The service delivery we are rendering, we showcase so many clients we get on social media, so many businesses we conclude on social media. Those in business, in fact, from so many schools of thought, a lot have decided to close down their shops. That I have more customer online. Even most of the buying I do now, I don't have to go to supermarket, to store. I just do my buying online. They deliver to my doorstep. Everything is done online because they will save the cost of rent, trade permits, lockup, NEPA bills, and so many capital costs that will be saved because they say they sell more online. Most of them, in the comfort of their home, they do all they have to do. Likewise, our children, those in the primary school, they give them assignment online now. In the secondary school, same. During COVID, Lagos State was giving classes, subjects per day. Maybe today is English, tomorrow is math, on TV. And even in public school then, because I have a friend that's a principal, they will give assignment to those children. She will herself carry a laptop. The principal in the public school. And even those in the private school, they will give them assignment, project work that they discuss. They will have team leads and what have you. So everybody is learning, and we are able to know that with social media, we can do things differently, and it has come to stay. Let's move forward. Some of the examples of social media, Facebook. So on Facebook, business is showcased, our celebration parties, what have you, though some people so we should not expose ourselves public, but if it's for business and publicity and what you do, I think it's not out of place. Instagram, I'm on Instagram every time. So it's like I will know that this one is the one that is this, that one is the, and so many things I might not even go in buying. I will just screenshot. Maybe when there's a need for it, I will, even for some of my people, I'll say, this thing will be useful for you. I saw it on, and I will just conclude, and they'll deliver to you. Likewise, Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, your business can be a lot of appointments and so many things that is concluded. They will see your profile, your bio and everything. So many hiring that people get even through LinkedIn. So because of the new normal that we have, social media has come to stay, and it is helping us to be better informed, to be better people, and to make impact to our environment. And all this is something that, in a way, it will affect the emotion of a child, depending on what the child see you do. What is your advice? Are you a role model? What kind of an ambassador are you? Maybe in your place of work, in your business environment, and how did people perceive you? So all this get to the emotion of the child, and the child can now be a replica of you. And it's also affect their social life also, social development, because so many things that they will be better informed. In the public, they have the confidence, the know-how, the capacity, and to be able to be self-confident in themselves that I can do this, I can do this. Now it's not about what we go and learn in school. Yes, what you go and learn in school, a lot of jobs for those abroad and the rest, it's not what you learn in school, all the degrees you have. What can you do? What value added? What impact can you do? What, especially when it comes to social media, use of system and what have you, information technology. So appropriate age for a child to be on social media. I say, well, for now, some in primary school also, they give them assignment and the rest, but for social media proper engagement, I say between the age of 13 and 18, for those that are younger, we'll just manage and watch what are they watching, what are they doing, is it something educative that will add value to them? Is it something that will increase their knowledge of IT and the rest? Some people will even go to social media to go and learn, I want to learn how to repair a computer. Some people will go there to learn how I can do my makeup by myself, or how I can improve on my makeup skill, or gele tying, and all this. It's all on, everything is on social media. It all depends on which site we go to and what do we do with our time on social media. If social media is rightly used, I say, well, it's a tool to learn, as I have said. So many things to learn. A lot of motivational speakers on social media that we can follow, Christian motivational speakers, so many edifying things, your communication, your speeches, and so many things, everything is just there. It's just that for us to do the right thing and on the right side. And it's what we have, we can imbibe and inculcate in our children. Easy way to connect. A lot of people make friends on social media. I'll say it's good, but we still need to be careful. Like there was a film that I watched. The lady had a friend, she connected a friend on Facebook. They have been engaging, calling, chat, and what have you. She now went to US for a training. She now connected the man, went to the state the man is, and the family, well, she was telling the family what is happening and what have you. Not knowing that the friend she met on Facebook is a murderer. And when she got to, and the man now had to take her out of that country to another state to train. He parked his car somewhere, and because of the journey to a very remote place that nobody can even see them. And when they got there, it was drop of a dead rat, dead dog, dead what have you. Scary things. She was afraid. She now met a very old woman in that house. That one was scared. What are you doing here? Go, go, go. The man will give her comfort. Don't worry, don't worry. At a point, at later time, she said she wants to go. The man said, just don't worry, you go. You still have some days in this state. Eventually, the old woman now told her that she needs to flee for her life, or else the man is going to kill her. And in the course of the old woman trying to help her out, the old woman was killed by the man. And in the course of trying to escape, so many people that she escaped, and when the police came in, they saw a lot of Nigerians. I say it's black that the man used to go for. Nigerians that the man has killed. So when we are connecting on Facebook, on social media, we have to be careful. And we need to let our children also be aware that whatever they are doing on social media, they must carry us along, they must be careful, they must do their due diligence, and they don't just fall into friends online and what have you and what have you. And it's also a way to evangelize and spread evangelize and spread the gospel. Like me, I have a platform that I have 250 people on the broadcast list, and I share devotional every day. Even if I'm sick, I will hold my phone and I will ensure I must populate. Because the nature of my work, but that evangelism through that platform, people will tell me, I don't know how far it goes. Because they will also share on their family platform to other platforms that they have. A way to evangelize, a way to communicate. And even if it is 100 people, I want to believe few people will be reading, they will also be passing it, and they come back and give me testimony. Some will December, some will bring it that you don't know what is your prayer you are sharing every day is doing to us. So it is a way to share gospel, evangelize, and the rest of it. For social media, in a wrongly way that can be used, it can bring distraction if not monitored. Because a child that is supposed to do assignment after school and is now on social media, maybe watching film and what have you, will affect the performance of the child in the school. So we must monitor what they do on social media. There must be restrictions. There must be limits to what they do on social media. And we must be interested in what they do on social media. Diverse expectation and peer pressure. Some will be in some groups that they are not supposed to be. So we have to know what they are doing. Bullying and unnecessary sites, maybe site they are shooting, site they are doing or courtesy and what have you. So we must be able to pick up their phone and see what they are doing. And we'll give them the appropriate guide that is necessary. A friend of mine that I know, her 2 children are in a boarding house, but she has access to the platform that the children have. Then she just lost her husband, and one of the daughter's friend now said, opening day is coming, your father will not be coming. You don't have a father to come and visit you. And the lady withdrawn, she felt so bad. So the mother was able to see the discussion on the platform, and she quickly called the intervention of the proprietors of the school. And they weighed in. If she doesn't have access to the platform that the daughter is, it can cause some demotion or some remorse in the child, and even the output or performance of the child in school. You get what I'm trying to say, put across. So we have to know what they do on social media, and a lot of rumor and fake news that goes on social media. During answers, so many news. Tinubu is in UK now. Tinubu is in the comfort of his house. This is what they are killing this person in this place now. So it's not everything we see on social media we believe, or we take. They can use somebody's head and put another person's body and say that is what is happening at that moment, and it's not true. So we have to be careful of what and before we even disseminate such information, because some people, news that have gone out maybe in some 10 years, they're still populating in platforms that is not real, that is not sincere, that is not true, that is not even recent. So that's why we have to be careful of the rumor and fake news that goes around on social media. Likewise, let's just look at all the people they follow also. There are some celebrity that our children must not follow. Is it a celebrity that their son is male compliment that God made him to a lady, and he has a lot of followers, and he's ruining a lot of young children's mind. They feel that yes, he's making money and he's doing well, that they can follow him. So our children must not even go near such. We must give them appropriate guide that is necessary. Guide that parents can give to children for the use of social media. Time limit to children to be on social media, content to avoid, verify information, people to follow, like the example I just gave. Some will say Satanists not believing in God is possible because they have everything, that God does not exist. Gay marriage, like US, so many things. Access to so many things that is not right, that is not godly. Even if they are in that environment, they must not. Others may, I must not. That is my slogan to my children. Others may, I must not. Not because everybody is doing it. Even if everybody in your environment, you must not. Because you must be an ambassador of your family, your church, your mosque, your work environment, everything that you represent. You must be a good ambassador. So we must not join the multitude. So those are some of the guides that we need to give them. Parents need to help these children overcome negative habits and its effects. How do I mean? Get educated yourself. Learn what you don't know and that you need to know to enable you help these children, especially that has to do with social media. We need to close the generational gap because this age is a jet age. So many things we don't even know. There are so many things. If peradventure the president or the chairman is making a birthday now, I will send her pictures to my daughter that please do a music for her. And she will give me a very good music for her. You know, so many things that they know that we don't know. So with that generational gap, we need something. They will say they must teach me how to do it. That I must know how to do it. And it's an empowerment for me also. Create a guideline for them. Guideline, rest perspective, what to do, what not to do. Become an accountability partner. Be their friend on platform they have. You have access to what they do. Let them be your friend. Let them not block you on their platform. Some people will block their children with their parents so that they cannot know what they are doing. There was a family, the boy showcased something on Facebook. It was like the master that saw it. The parents don't have access. They now have to call the parent and forward that this is what, that they should caution the boy. So if the parent have access, they will be able to say, no, this is a no. It is not fair, it is not godly, it's not true, it's not sincere, it's not pure, it's not right. So we must be their accountability partner on social media. How to monitor the children on social media. We need to open communication. They must be our friend. When they are happy, when they are not happy, when they are ups, they are down, there are challenges, they must be our friend to enable them open up to us. This is what I'm going through, these are my constraints, these are my challenges. So by the time we have open communication, they will be free to tell you everything. This is what this person wants to, I should come and join. This is what, you understand? And because of the moral, the value, the Jesus we have given them, they will, even because of we, the parents, that we are doing it right. Your parents will not, our children will not go to such things. They will say, because of my parents, even if there is peer pressure, and there's peer pressure everywhere, even children in Christian schools. Peer pressure, so many things that is going wrong that, you know, but because of what we will be able to imbibe and inculcate in them, they will be able to stand out, stand tall, and continue to be who they are supposed to be. How to monitor our children on social media? As I said, encourage open communication, connect their accounts with yours, let them release, give you access to the account. Be friendly with them on social media, encourage them, and so that they don't block you on social media. Because the 18 and they will say, these people, they will not understand. You understand? But if they are their friend, they will not mind to say, yes, let my parent, my mother, my father know what I do, and because we just need to dialogue with them. 21, 25, 29, 20, those 18 above. We just must be their friend and like dialogue. It's not like autocratic this way, that way. They will say, oh, we will not tell her. We will not tell him. You understand? So we just need to let them be our friends. Log into their social media accounts regularly. Restrict the use and abuse of social media. When it's going out of place, maybe it's a child that needs to write jam, and you can seize the phone during the exam period. No phone. After exam, yes, you have your phone back. Or they are arranging up WAEC. Me, I will just collect their phone, no phone again. Or in the night, 9 o'clock, I will seize the phone and keep it in my drawer till tomorrow, so that they will sleep where they are supposed to sleep. Me, I'm like a street mother. I'm a bit on the street side. I will seize the phone and I will keep it. Tomorrow morning, you have it. But those that are above 18 in the university, you cannot do that. You just have to, you need to sleep when you're supposed to sleep, so you don't have to go back in the class next morning and dialogue and make them see reasons why they need to sleep at night. If you are not reading or you are not on vigil and you are not studying, then what are you doing around 12, between 12 and 4? You are not sleeping. You want to go and have hangover during the day in school. So that's why we need to be their friends and let them open up to us. Knowledge and understanding of the right things to do in the way and in the will of God is also Very, very, very important, because as we are trying to like tell them this is important, that is important, they must do this, they must do that, we must let them see reasons that is for their own good. There is no father or mother that will not want the best for the child or the children, or even to be better than what we are. So we are telling them the truth and the right thing. But the approach might be a bit hard, strict, what have you, but we still need to let them see reasons with us. Parent and children role to play. Both the parent and the children, we have a role to play for effective and a complete relationship for the use of social media, especially those that are still under our tutelage. By the time they are on their own, some are already staying on their own, and the rest, we'll just be praying for them and be giving them pep talk. I call it pep talk. After I gave them 1 hour. Well, how did this one go? How did that one go? What's the challenge? What have you? You give that and you pray for them. But that's the role of any parent. So we need to encourage them, and good family times is also very important. When you are their friend, they will be free to relate with you, to share everything with you. Family altar is also very important. I know some families that every day, maybe the morning or the night, they will engage their children. Their children are not even here. And they will engage their children, like our president, our chairman, they pray together, do fellowship together, and the rest of it. There's no gap. There's no gap. So we need to close the gap, and we must be close to them, irrespective of distance is not a barrier anymore with social media. Because as we are seeing ourselves, everybody is everywhere from the world now, and we're all connected, and we're still having our meeting. Surprises at times, maybe a surprise party, on occasion, something to, something memorable that will make them feel comfortable and make them feel welcomed with their parents, to enable them open up everything to their parents. Listening is when it's necessary, and we give amendments and make amends where also that is necessary and needful. And on this note, I also want to charge us as parents to listen to them, always listening, yes. No say no. How do I mean? Not a no approach, but a dialogue and a dialogue approach, so that they will see that yes, I have parents that I understand. It's not that we must go their way, because that age has given us more experience, has given us leverage, and we can guide them appropriately and adequately. And on any question that they might ask, we should be ready to answer and give them reasons why not that way. If I must give one scenario, my baby girl of 16 years, last week or so, she said she's lean. She's on the small side, very portable. She said she's in the university though. She said she's lean. People are saying she's too small. She wants to grow fast. I said, you are beautiful. You are wonderfully beautifully made. Wonderful is God's work. When you come home, you eat everything, burger everything. You hard, and you don't even have to be fat. How portable you are, like Coach Lola, is very fine like that. You don't need. She said she wants to add weight. I should go and Google something that she saw. I should go and read about it also. That she wants to get it. I said you don't need it. Eat all the food they are giving you in school. Take your provision. When you get home, is the pressure of school. When you get home, will add value. So she had gone to decide to read about it. I give her reasons why she doesn't need it. And at the end of the day, she agreed with me that, okay, she doesn't need it anymore. But I said, just take your multivitamin, take fruit, take a lot of water, do less of fizzy drinks, and eat your food. The food they are giving you at your school will work for your body. And that is your stature. If you eat all the food tomorrow, you are not going to be fatter than this. So those are the engagement that we as parents we need to give these children. So on that note, I want to throw it open, and I want a contribution, different narrative that can also add value from the house, from the people on call. And on this note, I want to believe that I'll be able to do illustration to the paper before me, and I believe that we'll be able to take away from this paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. We're all very grateful for this enlightenment. I got one or two things, but somebody has a question. Mrs. Funke Adeni is asking, how best can parents monitor their teenagers on social media? How best can parents monitor their teenagers on social media? Please, let's have more questions. Ma'am, you can go ahead and answer that.
Okay. To monitor them on social media for the teenagers is not that difficult. When you are their accountability partner, you are their friend, you can have access to their phone. They will not password their phone for you because they know that they must not do anything that is not right, that is not ungodly, that is not true, that is not pure, that is not sincere. So when you are their accountability partner, you can monitor what they do. There are some sites, different sites that they must not go to. So they know their limits and they don't go to sites that they must not go to, where they are joining satanists and what have you. So we can monitor them, and we can, with good engagement and good knowledge that we ourselves have, we can be able to manage our teenagers. Thank you.
So what I hear you say is being their friends is key to everything else.
Yes.
Because if we've not been engaging on that level prior, I doubt any child, especially the children of today, they're pretty smart. I've got teenagers in the house, and sometimes you will be snipping off, and I'll just remember, I've not taken the gadgets off them. It's so bad. I take not only mobile phones, I also take laptops. Because I find that when I take mobile phone, the laptop will be under their pillow when I wake up in the morning. So really, the time you thought you've sent them to bed is not the time they've gone to bed. So, and what I've also heard you say here today, before I go on to summarize what you've said, is something around at certain ages, there's no how you can curb their usage, especially when they're in the higher school of learning, university, then, year 12, when they've left the house. Correct? For those that are not in boarding school.
Yes.
So
yes.
How do we deal that?
Yes, that illustration that I gave, the child is around that age, she's in the boarding school, and the child is an accountability partner on the platform that the daughter was. That was why she was able to pick what happened to the daughter in school and call the attention of the proprietors.
Okay.
Yes, to wait. That's for those in the body. Now, for those at home,
yes,
there should be a rule. But yes, for that age. But when they are like 21, 20 something, they'll feel that they have their life. But all that we have been, when they were, when we can still fold them, we will be able to put some things in place, and we will have peace of mind wherever they are. We just know that they will just be good. They will do the right thing. They will do the right thing all the time, even if everybody around them is doing the wrong thing.
Thank you, Ma. So I'd like to quickly just summarize some of the benefits of social media you shared with us and some other salient points. Says they use it for assignment, which is true. We use social media to stay in touch, be aware, we get to know what is happening in their lives, especially for those that are not in our immediate environment. Social media gives an idea of how they spend their day and how they are thriving. You also gave us something that I found very instructive, is that we as parents must also become healthy model of social media to our children. That, I dare say, is where everything else comes from. When we're also good ambassador of usage of this social media, our children are bound to inculcate and follow through. Thank you for that. That really means that to me. Thank you, Ma. We must also critically review who our children follow.
Yes.
Who they follow, who they emulate, because these children of this, even for adults, I saw someone put on the group saying even parents can be distracted. Yes, anything they see, they believe. So we need to watch who they follow and what information they get to follow through on. Also, it says it helps to overcome negative habits and the effect of same. Thank you for that. We must actively learn to do things to close generational gap. Correct. So they stop calling us old school. We must create guidelines for usage of social media for our children. Thank you for that. I promise to follow through on that. I'm going to have a meeting. We're having a family meeting over this one. Encourage accountability, partnership, relations with our children. Thank you, ma'am. That's part of our meeting. I promise to follow through on this. This has been just for me. I don't know how many more people identify with this in their families. We must be their friends, and open communication is key. We must also regularly log on into their account for those whose access we have. Then you also said to us, we must ensure regular engagement with our children over, various things, and social media must be part of what we're discussing on an ongoing basis. I'd like to check whether we have any questions that have just come. Please drop your questions so that we can ask our speaker today. May I also remind us that this is a monthly program. Today's is the June's edition, and the July edition would be part of our quarterly call. You recall we do have quarterly call on this group, and the quarterly call for this month, for the month of July, would be on personal branding. Personal branding by none other than Mrs. Anna Oyebanjo. I look forward to it. Personal branding. So please don't miss that event. I'd like to quickly read other comments we have on the platform tonight. Please keep the questions coming. Please keep the questions coming. Matos, I'm looking for comments, but yes. Thanks. I guess parents should be example of who they want their words to be. This is a comment from Matos. You cannot be spending extended hours on social media and asking your children to do otherwise. Correct. Also, what you do on social media is tactic approval of what they can do. Thank you, ma. Very correct. Any other comments? There are quite a number of people thanking you, ma, for this presentation. We're all very grateful. Thank you. Any other comments, please?
We have Adetola Babington-Ashaye's hand up.
Please, ma'am, go ahead and speak. Adetola. Okay, she's put her comments there. Do you want to speak? Please go ahead.
Should I speak, or
please go ahead?
You want to read the comments? Okay. So I know there's been research done about how when you use social media for a very long time, and considering that children are still developing, their brain is still developing. If the speaker could give us, hours or how long a child at it.
You are talking to, do you mean the formative stage of the child? That the formative age.
So she was asking how many hours that children should be allowed on social media per day. As there's been some research saying this is attention.
Okay, yes, because the other engagements from after the morning devotion, they will have their bath, breakfast. If for those that do breakfast, they'll go to school, come back, lesson teacher is waiting. There will be assignment to attend to and the likes. I think school days, an hour, if not 1 to 2 hours is just fine, if necessary. But and if they have other engagements, maybe 30 minutes just to check 1 or 2 things. The assignment, you need to cross-check some details online or Google. 30 minutes, 1 hour is fine during school days. But during holiday, we can say 2 hours. Because so that it doesn't distract them. A child that has common entrance that needs to review all the past questions, do it and do it again, or a child that is doing professional exam that need to do all the objective over and over again and is on social media, when is the time to do the proper thing? So there should be restriction and limits. So 2 hours is just ideal for a child that has other engagements. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There's a Funlola that just joined. She's suggesting that we watch Pink Beret on YouTube. Could you tell us what that is about in the chat so we know and follow through? On attention span, I don't even think it's only about children. I have a 30-year-old lady that lives in my house. She's on social media most of the time. And I honestly can testify that our attention span is dwindling. My husband is so concerned, he's had to have a word with her about it. You know, we're going to church and he said, you know what, I need you to please limit the amount of time you spend on social media. You're so good with social media, yet you give her instruction on the first floor. By the time she gets to the kitchen, she's forgotten what you said. And that's what the assignment she went there to do. So I truly believe it has a negative impact on even adults, not children only. Thank you, Aditola.
Limit to everything that we do. That you should not be too excessive. Yes. Except for those doing business. And that's where you earn your income. You know, it's the comfort of your house. You do your business. People are your details, the account details, what have you. And you still have time to do other things, even time to engage with your children, you know. So there should be time for everything. Yes.
Thank you. So for people who are doing business, would it be also expedient to have someone else be the front person on social media for their businesses? Because they also have they would also want to surf to check other things. So I would say it's not bad. I have a side also, and I have someone who is actively on.
Yes, active, yes, because you will have other engagement, home from children, minding your work, and yes, you just need to cross-check what they are doing occasionally, and at the end of the day, what has happened, what are the businesses and the new clients, the profile, and all the rest of it. Yeah, you just need to follow up and follow through.
Thank you. There's a second question. Okay, there's another question here. Do you need to be on all the social media pages of your children to monitor them, even when you really do not have enough time, given your busy schedules as a career mother? That's a question there.
Yes, that question resonates with me, but I would say we cannot. But with prayer, with counsel, with advice, especially pep talk, it might just be 30 minutes, 1 hour. Because it's not every day for children that are even not under your roof anymore. It's not every day you are busy, they are busy. Maybe it's just be Saturday morning or Saturday night or the day you close early. You understand? That pep talk is very important. It sinks with them. It sinks down with them. And you advise them. So that counseling will go along because we cannot know all that they are doing. And with prayer, and with God on our side and their side, I think they will come out well.
Amen. Okay. Another comment just came. It says about peer pressure, and now our young adults are lured into a platform where they do all sorts of things, and the parents are too busy to notice changes in our children.
Yes, for peer pressure, you know, in this age we are, they will say, yes, this is the style that is trending. Let me say a boy child now. This is the kind of haircut. You see them dread the hair, weave it all back, and all the rest of it. But as a praying mother or a praying father, you don't need to let your child know it's a no. Abroad, they might be doing it. It's not our culture. And how will you be perceived? Let me see you, and the way I see you is the way I will assess you. By the time you want to go for an interview, you have a hair that is so bushy, you have a beard and what have you. You will be misrepresented for what you are not. And that's what I always tell my own. You must not even plait your hair. And I'll go and give the example. Maybe even within the cousins and what have you. Have you seen what this your uncle? Go and see his hairstyle. This your uncle. You understand that they are even in the same environment. Nothing has changed with them. Just be you. And continue to be a good ambassador of your family. So because there's peer pressure, we must not deny that fact. But we must continue to insist the right thing all the time. And this is know the child of whom you are and give them examples. This your uncle is also around where you are. this your uncle is not too far, even though we might not be in this our own environment, what hairstyle, you understand? Then you must let them see reason with you, and they must stay with you on that lane. Because you, as a parent, a mother, or a father, will tell them what is true and right. Because you want them to be a total person and a better person.
Thank you, Ma. Any other questions, please? Questions, let's keep the questions coming. For those of us that our children have blocked us on social media, what do we do? Especially those that are also in other countries.
Dialogue and counseling.
And pep talks.
Yes, and pep talk. That pep talk is key. It's very damaging.
Thank you. Thank you. More questions, please. Let's ask questions or comments. It doesn't have to actually be a question. I see Fumlola asking us to watch Pink Beret, says what we're discussing today is actually what the movie is about. So that's the to-do from this meeting.
Okay.
Pink Beret on YouTube. It's part of social media, YouTube. So let's watch, especially if it's going to also improve our knowledge on the subject matter. Okay, any other questions or thoughts?
I think Martha's hand is up.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for this topic. Few comments from me, and I thank the speaker, but I need to add that as parents, one, our mode of engagement with our words and children is important. You can explore a strategy of shouting without explaining the reason why they should not do what to them. It's important because if they understand why decisions or why we are advising them not to do what is more important to them than shouting that don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And most parents, the strategy of our mother is what we are trying to replicate, which is quite different from the mode that we are seeing now. But what we have seen is that once you explain, because if you see your children today, if you tell them don't do this, for people that are very attentive and very careful, you will see that a small girl will ask you why.
Why?
And that's all what they want to know. And once you explain why, and you are stressing the positive as against negative to them, I bet you will. So our mode of engagement is important. Then what we stress most, remember, what you focus on is what you get. If you keep on focusing on negative, that's what you are planting to them. So we must remember that this social media thing has come to stay with this generation. But the positive aspect of this social media, it should be our concern. So we cannot keep on talking about negative when we ignore the positive. Remember, even people that are advertising, what they drop in our mind is what we keep on referring to and keep on thinking about. So as a parent, we must learn to continually drop positive things around social media to them, how people are making it through social media and what they do on social media to make it and not to do otherwise. Because we can try to monitor till tomorrow. If you don't explain why they should do, I bet you we will miss it. God will not allow us to miss it. But it's important that we stress this positive and let's direct them right from day one to the positive aspect of it. What we focus on is what we get. If we focus on the positive, we'll get positive. If we try to focus them on negative by shouting on them, it should be a very tough one. And I think I feel I should drop this with all the parents on the platform. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that contribution.
Mrs. Adelaye, you have your hand up. Please speak.
Fantastic. Excellent presentation, Mr. Latibos. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Lola. Thank you.
There's so much in the chats and everybody's really so blessed. But I just wanted to lend my voice to all the discussions that we've been having tonight. And I just want to thank Mr. Matos for his insight as well. But I wanted to sort of bring it a little bit together because, as you all know, I'm in a different continent. And I know that we've got people here from Canada as well. And so I think we have to consider environments when we're talking about children, raising children, because that is, I think, one of the problems that we see, you know, outside Nigeria, where parents come from Nigeria, bring their kids abroad, whether to Canada, US, UK, Europe, wherever. And we want to apply the same rule. You know, I can see Dr. Ashaye laughing. We want to apply the same rules that apply in Nigeria, in the UK or in Europe or whatever, forgetting that in Nigeria, the culture is very different, okay? The culture in Nigeria is that we are raised by a community, okay? So if, you know, you're doing something and, you know, your mother's friend sees you, she can correct you. But try that anywhere outside of the country and the child will tell you your life history. They don't need to listen to you, number one. Number two, you know, in other countries, people, you could be doing something terrible beside somebody and the person will just turn their face like they didn't even see you. So first of all, I want to say, because we're in this era of Japa, so I'm sure there are some people here that are planning to Japa or have just Japa. You know, so and this is something that is very dear to my heart, you know, because I see a lot of families having these issues and having these problems, but you have to understand that the culture is very different. When we say that, you know, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. And so when you enter a different environment, my encouragement is to talk to people, you know, whether you're a churchgoer, you go to the mosque, talk to the people that have been in that country for a while, try and understand what, you know, what persists, because we've had so many people that have, you know, the mother or the father has been taken to jail or to prison because they've beat the child with a belt or with a whatever. They've, you know, because what you don't understand is that these children speak to their peers. Where you don't speak to people that you know, they do speak to people that they know, and they know what the law says in this country. And so when you threaten them or you say things to them, before you know it, and because I'm going to be honest with you, there's racism everywhere, there are different things, you know, we're being marginalized and all of that. The truth of the matter is, you don't even want your children, because what they don't tell these children is that when they lock their parents up, the children are going to end up in foster care.
Yeah.
Right? And no child wants to go into the system. It's not pretty. It's not beautiful. Right? So my encouragement, you know, that's just the first thing I want to touch on, because I think it's very crucial that when you go outside the country, speak to people that you know that have been in that country for a while and ask them, try and, you know, let them mentor you, right? Let them mentor you in that area. There's really nothing wrong with that. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, I think Mr. Matos sort of touched on it a little bit, and it's this: whether you're a parent, a mother, a father, or it's your spouse, you need to know your child. You need to know your husband. You need to understand that child. So my question to every parent here today is, do you know your child? When I say, do you know your child, my question is, do you know their strengths? Do you know their weaknesses? Do you know their motivators? Do you know their areas of giftedness? Because when Mr. Matos was saying that, you know, encourage your child, my understanding of encouraging your child is speaking to their area of giftedness. Because he said something, he said, what you focus on will expand, it will increase. So if as he said, if you keep saying, omoburuku, this child, you won't listen. Our words are very powerful. So we have to be careful how we speak to our children. I know a lot of it is conditioning because it's how we were brought up, you know, but we have to change the rhetoric. We have to change the way that we speak to our children. I know Ms. Alatoboson said something about speaking life to our children, and that is from practice. It takes practice because that's not how we were brought up. But when you are speaking those negative things, catch yourself. The more you practice it, the more you will perfect the art of speaking life to your children. And even when you're not speaking directly to them or speaking about them in any setting, it's not only when you're speaking to them, in any setting, between yourself and your husband, catch yourselves, whether it's you catching your husband or you catching yourself or whatever be the case, speak life. When you're talking about your children, make sure it's in the positive, it's in the affirmative, right? Whether you're speaking to them directly or not. So now somebody said, ask them why, right? Your children will ask you why. When we were growing up, when you ask your mother, why? What's the answer? Anybody? They will tell you. The answer is because I said so, number one. Number two, because why has a long tail and two branches? Honestly, those answers do not work in this generation, I promise you. What those answers do to the children of this generation is that it stops them from asking you why. It stops them from talking to you. And what happens when that happens? They start talking to their friends. They start getting counsel that is not right. So why am I saying this? I want to share, I'm conscious of time, but I want to share a few stories with you. One I heard today, and then, okay, I'll share today's one so that we can. So I was just speaking to somebody just before this call. Now this person has just jackpot. And so what made her jackpot was not what she wanted, because she had a very good job in Nigeria. She was earning multiple millions of income, but she quit her job because her child was in university here, first year in university, and was having emotional challenges. And so she decided to come and sit with this child here. She has 2 kids, so she brought the other child as well. So the 2 kids and herself are here, but her husband is back in Nigeria. So that in itself is a challenge for that couple, but let's not talk about the couple. Let's talk about the children. So today we were speaking, I thought I would catch up with her. And I said, how is it going with this child? And she said to me, it's much better than before, right? But we are working through certain issues. And what are the issues? She found, they just found out recently that this child has some health challenges. Why am I saying all of these things to you? Now, when she came to this country, she got a very good job as well. For somebody that had just come in, she had a very good job. But then that job was a contractual, it ended, and then she got this other job, and that's where I'm going. She got this other job with a private equity firm. They were paying her some wonderful amounts. For even someone that has been in this country for so many years will not be getting that money. However, her boss in the other company said to her, this job you are going to take, it's going to take your life. And she said, she was looking at the salary. This is the kind of job, she said to me, she said, this job, when you take a job that they say sign waiver of number of hours you are going to do, beware. Beware. Beware what you are looking for. She said she signed the waiver because the salary was just fantastic, and she thought, I'll be able to do this. She gave up the job after a month because it was doing her head in. She was getting the money, but it wasn't giving her time for her children anymore, which was the reason she came to this country. And then when she told me the challenges she has had to go through with the child, just in that space, after giving up that job, and I said to her, do you know that was why you had to give up that job? And why am I sharing this story with us? It's for us to know our priorities. What is your priority? Is it your job or is it your children? You need to ask yourself some really very, very, you need to ask yourself some serious questions. Because at the end of the day, your children are always going to be your children. Your job is never always going to be your job. Your business is never always going to be your business. So you need to understand that what you sow is what you reap. You need to be able to devote your time and energy. The Bible says that the children should honor their parents so that their days can be long. But I take it as well, it says as well to us parents, we should respect our children. What does that word respect connotate to you when it comes to children? So I'm not going to preach. I'm going to keep it there, but I hope that I've been able to, draw some insights into that. So basically what I'm saying is know your children, their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes them thrive, what environments they need to thrive, what motivates them. Don't just answer them by saying why has a long tail and 2 branches, and set your priorities right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's like having a 2-pronged lecture today. Thank you. Thank you, really did. Thank you. There's a comment from Adetola, says she personally thinks if we want to allow our teens between the age of 13 and 18 on social media, we need to open those accounts for them and putting in all parental controls as we open the accounts. So for those of us who didn't do that, please let's ensure that we get parental settings on the accounts, or they open fresh ones with us so my children will come and say, what's your email address? Because I need an adult address for this, for an account and opening. So I get a shadow of what they're applying on. So please, let's also ensure that's what she's saying there. We have an announcement that our July quarterly call will be on personal branding, and it will be by Dr. Mrs. Anna Oyebanjo. Please don't miss it for anything. Dr. Mrs. Anna Oyebanjo. Our monthly mentoring call would be replaced by that quarterly call, which is in July. I believe the flyer should be on now. Could you please have the flyer on the chat box so people can see it? Also, can we share our takeaways from this session? What's your personal takeaway? I've reeled out my own to you. Yeah. And one other one I just picked as Mrs. Adeleye was talking is that we need to just watch it.
The moderator, please, I want to add to what Coach Lola said. I want to give an illustration about what we say to our children. There are two different families. One family, the mother will always say good things, positive things. Even when they go and say, well, governor, minister, what have you, all the children came out so well. And then another family, the negative, and the children never turn out good. So I'm just trying to compliment what Coach Lola said, that we must be positive. We must say the right thing to them all the time, even when we are angry. We should hold our breath and never, especially mothers. I think fathers are more on the patient side. We must never say negative to them. We must say positive things to them, because the power of tongue, and especially with the mother, is very, very strong. So we must say positive things, because positive will definitely come out of them. But when we are the other side, the narrative will not be interesting. There are 2 scenarios that was given, and it actually happened. It actually happened, and they said that was how it happened this way. That is how it happened the other way. So we should try and say right things to our children. Just a point to compliment.
Do you know that positive thinking is not only to human beings, even to plants? Plants. There was a research that was done with school children. They had 2 potted plants, and people will come in the morning and they'll just generally abuse one plant, and for the other one they say, oh, you are blossoming so well, you are this. For same time, same amount of care, by the time they checked, the other one, in fact, there was a picture. I wish I could find that presentation. I shared with them at work sometime. The leaf of the other one that they used to just go there and abuse didn't develop well. It had stunted growth. Plant, ordinary plant. So if plant will react to that, to abuse, compared to the one that was getting words of affirmation, it tells me for sure what you have said, ma'am, is really true. May God help us to be godly parents indeed, in the mighty name of Jesus. Let's continue to please share. Who's going to say the closing prayer for us? Let me look. Aha. Anybody willing? Volunteer? Before I call you, volunteer, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to pray.
Yes, so please hold it. Let's see what comments have come in, but we'll round up within the next 2 minutes. Yes, I like the takeaways I'm saying. Always be positive. Others may, I must not. We must know our children. Yes, thank you, Mr. Fawore or Fawore. I hope I pronounced that well. Forgive me if I didn't. All right, ma'am. Mr. Kinsanya, it's your turn to round up. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It's been a wonderful experience, a bunch of loads of learning for me personally. Thank you, ma. I'd like to say thank you to you on behalf of FBA Foundations. That's Mrs. Olatubosun for this presentation, for anchoring. We really appreciate the words you've spoken to us today. Coach Lola, you did cement it all. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you everyone for being part of this event, and we look forward to having you at the personal branding session next month.